Hi guys, tell me if you have any kids you see that remind you of this little buddy of mine. So I met Frankie last year. He was 2. He had no formal diagnosis. He came into my office. The whole session, he ran around, did not make eye contact with me one time, or he laid on the ground rolling objects back and forth. Could be anything. Balls, water bottle, Lysol container, whatever it is, if it could roll, he was into it. So a lot of therapists would meet a kid like Frankie and say, he doesn't have language, I need to start working on language, right? But what was the right thing to work on with Frankie? Frankie had some major deficits and foundational skills needed for speech and language development. So if I jumped in and just started working straight on language, he would develop language. Probably within a year, he would be putting some words together. And it would sound like this. I want ball. I want juice. I want Thomas the Train. It would be all rote language because he had such deficits in those foundational areas needed for speech development. So what we need to do is think about what is the right thing to work on in therapy? What is the thing we can work on in therapy, whether it's one thing or two things or areas that we can work on in therapy, and if we work on them, when we strengthen those areas, it will have a significant effect on all other areas of language and cognitive development. So what is the one thing we could work on now that will have the greatest effect on the child's development? And for Frankie, it was working on his regulation and his engagement. Because without being regulated and without being engaged, he would develop language, but he would develop rote language. What he really needed was to strengthen those foundational skills, which would in turn help him build novel, flexible language. So the question to ask yourself is, what is the right thing to work on right now in your sessions? So what I have is a free download. Looks like this. It's a worksheet that is called Focus on the Right Thing. And this is based on the floor time approach. And what it does is it goes through different aspects of development. So regulation, engagement, communication, problem solving, different areas of development. And it asks you simple yes, no questions. Does the child have the skill or does the child not have the skill? And based on that, you're going to look at it, you're going to reflect on it, and then you're going to decide what is the right thing to work on in therapy. What is the one area that I need to work on? And if I worked on strengthening that area, it would positively impact the child in many other areas. So I hope you grab the free download.